This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster in My Podcast.
And this is The Secret of the Ooze, Part 1.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Ooze Week Magazine. Fake Ooze. Ooze Boys.
Good one. Yeah, no, this is your prime source for everything goopy and dangerous.
Yeah. It's all kinds of slimes, baby.
Yeah, it's slime time.
It is slime time.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
We initially, just because of the way these things break out, I stupidly had all the uses.
Fucking idiot.
You goddamn troglodyte.
You fucking idiot.
You embarrassment. You embarrassing stain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I had it all as one entry that I was like, sitting down at lunch at work. Oh no. Look at me. No, I was like, whoa, there's so many slimes.
Mm-hmm.
Including like the gelatinous cube. Talk about burying your fucking lead. So yeah, this has been blown out into its whole week.
This session is gonna be classic after classic. This is like the first Cars album of Monster in My Podcast.
It is the Cars 2 of Monster in My Podcast.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I don't want to waste any time while the ooze is young. Today, in the first so this whole week we're covering the oozes and jellies over three days.
Mm-hmm.
Today, probably covering the olive slime and the mustard jelly. What do you think about that? Like up through there?
Yeah. Let's see if we can get to Stun Jelly.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get to him. That bad boy. There's not too much to the Stun Jelly, actually.
No.
He's a footnote in Gelatinous Cube's wake. Standing on the shoulder of giant.
Yeah, he's standing in the if the Gelatinous Cube cast a shadow, he would be standing in it.
Pathetic piece of shit. He probably thought there'd only be one entry for oozes too.
Very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. But yeah, I think the real meat of today's episode is going to be the olive slime and the olive slime creature, which is genuinely horrifying.
It's very good. It's very much like the fungal, myconoid. Like we've been in this territory before.
We certainly have
It's still a good expression of it.
Of the parasite that modifies your behavior. I think the thing that makes this for me is the idea that, okay, it'll drip on you, start molding with your spine, mold, and then eventually it changes your behavior to really your only priority is to feed and protect the slime. So like, oh, what happened to Derek? Oh, he just ran off. Well, I guess he had a slime to protect.
Well, you can just run off, but it also includes like not arousing suspicion in your neighbors.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a the thing situation.
Yeah, it's like some doppelganger flavor, but with like an alien non-intelligent motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So the coolest part of this is like the clues. Like you have to eat twice as much food.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, Derek's really hungry, and then like you go and Derek's like, I'll take last watch. And then, like, at the end of the night, like, he's slinking off and you wake up and you're like, where are you going? And he's like, I gotta go. This one has to go urinate, and it's just like, oh, okay, buddy. All right, and this is over the course of, it's very similar to that doppelganger thing. Like, it really makes you want to, like, pull a player aside and be like, listen, this is going to suck for, like, Golthar or whatever, but I think you'll have fun with it.
Yeah.
Y'all got oozed. You got green olive slimed.
Yeah, or it'd be a fun way to keep the party on their toes with an NPC who is slimed. Who you rescue. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you build it up like over like a long period of time.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And then like what is the moral conundrum, right? Like you send the PCs to go rescue like a prince or whatever on the way out because you guys are like kind of crap adventurers. The PC gets slimed. The prince does. And then what happens if you have like this prince who's controlled by the slime whose only goal is self-preservation and eating? Like it's just like, oh my god, the prince just hangs out in his room like like he doesn't attend just affairs of state.
Yeah,
he eats constantly. He doesn't gain a pound though. It's weird.
Yeah. He spends most of his time stuck to the ceiling.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He leaves these like footprints of he keeps leaving Spore.
He keeps playing Spore. I tell him, hey, Prince, that's not a good game.
Yeah, it's not so good, buddy. Just wait until No Man's Sky comes out. And then he goes like this one understands that you are not. You're incorrect. It's super, super awesome hooks.
Yeah.
There's if nobody does, if people who are listening to this don't, you should follow the Twitter account D&D Rumors. because they're all like algorithmically generated, just little one sentence things like this, and
That's
like
something an innkeeper or a barkeep would say in a D&D based game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, it's really good. And like the prince has been eating twice his share and won't show up in public is like a perfect D&D rumors Twitter.
Oh yeah, slime kingdom.
Slime Kingdom is excellent. They can also make slime slaves, like that are separate than just like if they control you, like right?
Yeah. So what I think is like it's
you eventually turn into this.
Yeah, you eventually turn into the slime zombie if it progresses far enough. I think that it is not the whole slime that goes into you. It turns you into one of these slime zombies, and then it becomes that slime's guardian to control.
Yeah. And at some point, you become this kind of like more alien thing, and this is full of great detail as well. Because they gain a little bit of intelligence at this point, and nothing hurt, or the magic and lightning and shit hurts them, but weapons don't. But eventually, they take enough damage until their skeleton crumbles.
Yeah, like the substructure is not enough to hold the slime that is animating it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just like tear down the scaffolding.
Their former identities can only be discovered upon close examination.
Yes. And it says this is reduced to a parenthetical, non-animate skeleton.
Of course.
Like having, that's one of the best things about D&D is having to like, if you're talking about skeletons, you have to specify.
Oh, of course.
Super, super cool. They're plants, so like plant spells will fuck them up. And there's tons of text like devoted to how the green jelly is the opposite of the olive jelly.
Oh, of course.
When you get to the green jelly in this, guess how many words are spent on that?
Oh, none.
Zero.
So
like, what the fuck happened?
It should at least extend like a little bit of a little pig, let me in.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a we had it with it's a olive slime in the UK, but in America they called it olive jello. It feels like a patch.
Yeah.
Like this thing was too powerful and cool, so we have to give it a weakness.
Yeah.
I
just love the idea of slime wars.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's a fight; they just annihilate. Like they're each other's opposite number.
They cancel each other out.
Yeah,
it's like matter and antimatter. And then we move on to the mustard jelly.
Yeah, which
is the result. Like the origins of this thing are great.
Oh yeah, like the mechanics of this is no great shakes. Like it can split apart and it has half hit points. But it is all in the origins, which is it is rumored that this young wizard attempted to polymorph herself into an ochre jelly and failed. She failed and she became a mustard jelly instead. And so like all of these slimes, like it is presumed that they have some kind of arcane origin as these
like
failures.
Yeah. And this was a person, and because it's a slime, it's got this plant life. Like this could still be that person. Like every mustard jelly you run into in the world could be like this wizard.
Oh yeah, it could be the Mushroom King from Super Mario
Brothers movies. Like like the end of I have no mouth and I can't scream. Like it's literally like something has gone terribly wrong. My consciousness has been split into 1,000 different pieces.
Yeah.
Awesome, like horrific shit.
Yep.
Like some point, these things are just a monster in the world. They infest some area. Like they're all congregating around this wizard's tower that's been long abandoned and nobody knows why.
Oh my gosh.
And then like you go there and like somebody like accidentally, does a wish or wishes in a weird worded way.
Yeah.
And every one of these slimes becomes a perfect clone of the original wizard.
Oh my God.
Who with all the same memories.
Oh, she's coming home.
Yeah, and there's just like now there's thousands of them. It's just like it just hooks upon hooks, man.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty good. And I thought the coolest, not the coolest thing, but like the coolest mechanical thing was it can separate, surround a pillar, and then climb up to chase somebody who climbed up it.
The word it uses is reform into a torus.
Well, of course.
Yeah, which is like, that's not a word I see very often.
Yeah, because they didn't want to say slime donut.
Yeah. Your theory of a torus-shaped universe. And then the stun jelly, which is just a gelatinous cube, but as a wall.
Yeah, it is a rectangular gelatinous cube.
In The Simpsons where they pour out the cranberry sauce and they slice it?
Yep.
Or in The Simpsons where they put all the cocoa when Bart loses his soul.
Oh, and it becomes
he slices it off. That's all this thing is.
Of course.
Give me a slice.
Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.